Audio Jungle.
My name's Diego Perez, and here I have a good list of 5 most common misconceptions of Republicans. So, let's start off the list. Number 1, most Republicans are rich white men. If we use past election results and zoom into each county that voted, I'm going to use the state of Georgia for example. Nearly everyone outside of a major city in Georgia is Republican. Is there some sort of correlation? But with so far what I can gather up in an article, which is shown above, it speaks on the voter's mind in those areas. So I'm going to base off of each county the income level, and some of the counties' income levels are low, and with those are showing that these are not very rich people, and it shows why would they vote Republican in the first place. Well, it has to deal with being very nationalistic. Sometimes their mind's easier to convince because at times they may be a bit stubborn. Another thing is that they love Donald Trump. Well, in the article by Pew Research, they did a study around 1,893 adults, showed that most of them have mixed feelings about how he conducts himself as a person, as a president, because most of them feel as if he shouldn't conduct himself in an inappropriate manner due to him being the face of America at the time. Number 3, most Republicans are young white men. Matter of fact is that most Republicans are in their 50s. If we go to the research right here, again done by pewresearch.org, we have graphs and results that older gentlemen are voting far more often now in this period than they did in past elections. And if anything, more younger people are leaning towards more democratic views instead of leaning more Republican. At least that's what the graphs are showing. Now we're on to number 4. Every Republican thinks that guns are a top thing and don't want to get taken. This isn't the case at all. Most people take things out of context because they want more people, as in the Republicans, to educate themselves on guns and maybe own or purchase one in self-defense. The most recent data I was able to find was up here. The importance of guns compared to other issues were low, so they didn't really think, like, as in they should keep them like to their chest. All right, now number 5. Most of these people are extremely Christian or straight. That's not the case. There are countless examples of this not being true. Milo Minneapolis, Candace Owens, as well, with a large Hispanic voter base in Florida backed by Cubans. And this research paper right here, in the recent election, they went up and asked nearly 10,000 gay men to give their 2 cents or their opinion on each candidate and who they're going to vote for. Nearly 45% of the 10,000 are in support of Trump. Here's another paper I used for the questionnaires for the 10,000 people. So now we got a brief history moment. The Republican Party is one of the 2 major political parties in the United States, founded in 1854 as a coalition opposing the extension of slavery into Western territories. The Republican Party fought to protect the rights of African Americans after the Civil War. Today, GOP, as it's known, is generally socially conservative and favors smaller government, less regulations, lower taxes, and less federal interventions in the economy. Okay, so potentially bipartisan solutions to our current political issues that both parties can support. So, a solution or a current thing that we should agree on a solution to is COVID. Now, both of them can agree to put an end to this as soon as possible because everyone wants to relive the old normal as we had. Another thing we can agree on is gun control because we need to speak of now. It's not hard to acquire firearms as we've seen in the last couple weeks. Both parties can agree to having stricter background checks on things. Climate change is another one, and the environment for the future of everyone and living on Earth, and for the wellness of loved ones among us. The Earth is everyone's heart and soul. We can come to agreement to make it better for everyone around us and every environment around us. Education can also be one of the ones we can agree on because it's barely getting any funding. They're always not always making a big deal, but it's always being brought up, but no one wants to answer the actual questions about it. Lastly, what I want to say is criminal justice reform is a thing that I think both can support on that because some of the laws are just now outdated because they don't make sense at all. Because you can get jailed for, let's just say an example, being at a park after hours after you didn't realize it was closed, or having just a bottle of alcohol in a public place and getting jailed for it is just moronic. And the three reasonings for polarization I see in the country today. So I want to say it all started when Trump got elected because during the Obama administration, it seems like, at least from my perspective, everyone was happy and no one was really making big major issues about it. But then as soon as he came into office, a lot of these things started to change. The leader's ideals and his policies, and then some people would always try to push his agenda, and then people tend to view the opposite person or the opposite party as a threat or an enemy, and so they go to more threatening or endangering tactics of communication to the other person, and they're just not treating them as a regular person. So my solutions are be human, learn to respect others' thoughts or opinions. Just matter of fact, this is probably why a lot of conflicts lead to violence or just increase in shouting. Another thing is a person with a common enemy or common pain, you guys should be able to address the same thing and then come up with an idea or a solution or just probably do something for a good purpose that you have for one another and form it into something that's beneficial for something else. Lastly, don't push your views on other people because you want them to do that to you. You should be open-minded. You should allow other ideas and opinions run through your head and listen. And that's probably another reason why a lot of these conflicts happen. So that's it. And I hope we learned some stuff today. And yeah, have a great day.